Uh, well, 2021 is gonna start soon, so might as well make this video. Whoa, what's this new camera angle? Whoa, you guys used to be right here, but now you're up here. Oh, yeah. You can see more of my recording space, and my head's still cut off. It's still getting cut off like it used to. How's it going, everyone? It's me, Karif, from Insane Stupidity. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite games that I have played this year for 2020. Now, obviously, every single person on the planet has said this a bajillion times. 2020 has been a weird year. But you know what's been really good for 2020? Gaming. A lot of good things have happened for gaming. Some iffy things have happened for gaming, but also a lot of good things have happened for gaming. We got Fall Guys, Among Us blew up, we got Phasmophobia, and we got a lot of good things. A new God of War announced. You know, a lot of good things have happened this year for 2020. And now that we've 2020 is almost done, we can start talking about our favorite games we've played for 2020. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Also, if you like this video, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and comment down below what are your favorite games that you have played for 2020. And now let's get into the first game that I really liked for 2020. Some of you may not know this, but when I first started my YouTube channel, the one game that I played a lot was the Henry Stickmin series. I think I played most of them, and at the time I was a huge Henry Stickmin fan. And this year, we got a new Henry Stickmin game, Henry Stickmin Completing the Mission, which was basically kind of like an anniversary edition for Henry Stickmin. It basically had all the games sort of remastered, and the new one, which was Completing the Mission. And what I really like about this game is that it didn't really change up too much about the whole gameplay or the story. You know, it was basically how it's always been, this sort of Telltale styled game where you could choose your options, choose your own story. And what I've always loved about Henry Stickmin, that it's always had this, comical, silly, lighthearted, cartoonish sort of look, you know? Now, to get into the next game that I loved for 2020 was none other than the brand new Amnesia Rebirth. Now, if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've been doing some gaming videos on Amnesia Rebirth, including the custom story. Now, when Amnesia first started out, it was just known as an indie horror game that a lot of YouTubers did back then. And what's best about it is that it's an actual sequel. It's not like those DLCs or those spin-off games. It's an actual real sequel from the very first game. And one thing that I really love a lot about Amnesia Rebirth is the custom stories. Custom stories are always a big thing that I look at when I think of Amnesia. Just looking at what people create online and what maps they've created, to just see what the community builds for other people to play. And the story and the scenery of Amnesia Rebirth, just the graphics and how amazing everything looked, is so beautiful. And obviously, when you think of Amnesia, you think of horror. And it's actually just as scary as the old game. Obviously, I've gotten scared a lot from Amnesia, and that's just what I love about it. It's really easy to get a good scare from Amnesia. Now, the next game I'm going to be talking about that I liked for 2020, I was actually really excited when it was announced. I'm talking about none other than the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was announced. I was just shaking in excitement. I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, I've always been a huge Black Ops fan. And sure, I do love the Modern Warfare series, but Black Ops just holds a special place in my heart. Except Black Ops 3 and 4. I hate those ones. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was basically like what we needed for 2020. It was something that, it was just a huge shining light for 2020 for gaming. Now, I personally played the absolute crap out of Call of Duty. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really into the whole first-person shooter genre, but even if you're not into that genre, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is definitely a game that you will enjoy. I tried to find every single Easter egg, every secret, and I even got both endings. And that was actually a really big thing that a lot of people were happy about, that they brought back multiple endings, just like in Black Ops 2. And one thing that was actually really interesting about Cold War was that the creators said that it actually takes place in a new universe. As you know, the original Black Ops, the whole Aether storyline with zombies, they started a brand new storyline called Die Machina. And again, that was another thing everyone liked about the Black Ops Cold War, that it had really good zombies and brought back some, good maps. So when people ask me a good recommendation for a good game from 2020, I will most likely always say Black Ops Cold War. Now this game that I'm going to be talking about next actually came out a while ago. It's Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is probably one of the best, if not the best game I have ever played all my life. The characters, the setting, the storyline, the dialogue, everything about it is just so mind-blowing. When I look at Ghost of Tsushima, I think of it as a mix of old samurai movies, and speaking of old samurai movies, they actually did something about that in Ghost of Tsushima. There's an Easter egg that you can get where you can play the game as if it was an old black and white samurai movie. And one of the coolest things is you can actually play the game in either English dialogue, which is the default settings, or you can play in Japanese dialogue with captions, kind of like if it was an anime. Alright guys, now listen. This is the last game I'm going to be talking about. There could have been more games, but none of them compare to this last game that I'm going to be talking about. This last game, it was so just mind-blowing and breathtaking. So, just irresistibly breathtaking. Just the gameplay, the style of it, the absolutely beautiful graphics, the characters, the character development, the storyline, the action in it, the fight scenes, the cutscenes. The game that I love so much more than any other game. I could have chose any other game, but I didn't. Because this game was just too breathtaking. The last game that I love the most for 2020 is none other than Cyberpunk!